So this is a Swift Conqueror 565, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake, and your ATC. We'll take you through these in person here on site. In the front locker, you have your gas bottle tie downs on the right hand side with your gas regulator up on the bulkhead. We do have the gas pipe work available here on site should you need to buy it. So, like I said, you've got your 2 bottles tie downs here, and you can carry a maximum of 2 6kg propane gas bottles at any point on board the Caravan. Coming down the side of the Caravan, you've got your water pump connections, which I'll show you in a second, and you'll find your water pump in the front locker. So to fill it's got 2 actual tanks on board this Caravan. I'm going to show you how to fill the onboard water storage tank first of all. Sorry, the hot water tank first, which is direct to tap. This is the bottom connection, so you put this water pump into the side of the van. So you'll pull back the blue trigger and push it into the side of the van, as you can see here, and then release the trigger so it locks in place. You'll then put the pickup pipe inside the act roll itself, as you can see here, and that will allow you to fill the water system up on board the van. If you want to fill the onboard water storage tank, you'll need to connect the pump to this top connection, and that will allow you to fill the onboard water storage tank via the same system by putting this pump into the top. At the front of the van, you've got your orderly heating and hot water flow, which is very simply there to allow the heating system to breathe. Then on the bottom on this side, you've got your wind down leg to stabilise the Caravan while it's on site. It is only there for stabilising, it is not there for lifting the Caravan. You've then got your battery box with your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. So you've got your mains power lead here that connects to the power on site. You've got your 2 battery connections that connect to the top of the battery itself, and that will allow you to have power directly to your 12-volt systems and the motor mover on board the Caravan. We will put one on here to demonstrate the motor mover when you arrive on site. Then got 2 fridge vents. 2 fridge vents, very simply there to allow the fridge system to breathe. You don't need to do anything with these. You leave them uncovered. You never cover them up, as if you have covered them up, it'll get the fridge too hot. Wheel nuts and motor mover. Like I said, we'll demonstrate the motor mover while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting prior to the Caravan leaving site. Now in the front of the van, you'll notice there's 2 bits of grey pipe in there. Them 2 bits of grey pipe will go into the larger diameter holes that you see down here at the side of the van, and they'll drop down inside the waste master that you'd normally have on the floor underneath. So essentially it's the fresh water that goes in the front of the van, comes through the pipe work, through the sinks and the shower, and then will come out the side of the van down here. You've then got your toilet flush tank here on the side of the van, so you'll open up the flap and drop the flap down. You'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette. You'll lift up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you to release it. The orange neck here on top turns out 90 degrees to tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. On the back of the cassette, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In this cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the van on either side, you've got your 2 wind down legs to stabilise the van. Again, they are only there for stabilising, not lifting the Caravan. Lift the Caravan with these, it potentially damage the floor of the van. On the side of the van, you've got your storage locker for underneath the single rear bed on this side of the Caravan. Your wheel and motor mover again. You've then got your 3-pin socket so you can have power coming out to your awning. Underneath, under-seat storage for the front of the Caravan, and your barbecue gas point. Going on to the inside of the Caravan now. When you come inside the van, first thing you're going to need to do is turn the power on above the door. So above the door, you've got your main control panel, so you turn the power on, as you can see here. You've then got 2 indicators here, 2 green lights that indicate it's got mains power coming from the site we're connected to and into the Caravan. If you're connected to the car, you'll have an orange light on the Caravan. If you've got all 3 lit up, then you'll need to either disconnect the power to the Caravan from the car or the power from the site to the Caravan. On the left hand side of the control panel, you've got your battery voltage level on the left hand side, and then you've got your vehicle battery voltage coming through to the Caravan from the car when you're towing. You've got your fresh water level here for the onboard water storage tank, and you've got the fill tank option here, and you've got your water pump for the water pump directly to the taps. Then you've got your view level button on the right hand side. So to fill the water system up, you're first of all going to need to come over to every tap on board the Caravan, open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. As you see, there's water already coming through the system. But once you've opened all them taps up, you're going to come underneath the seats on the front right hand side of the van. And underneath here, you're going to find two yellow valves that need to be parallel with the floor, as these two valves are at the moment. And then you're going to find your white changeover valve. So at the moment, we're running from the external supply directly to the hot water tank. So it is not currently filling this onboard water storage tank under here. It's filling the grey tank at the front of the Caravan. If you wanted to fill the internal water tank, which is this tank here, you would need to put this tap into the down position and have your pump connected to the top connection on the outside of the Caravan. As I said, we're just going to fill it directly to the hot water tank at the moment, but to fill it from the onboard, from the external supply to the hot water tank, you have that valve down, and then you'll press the fill tank option on the control panel. Once you have water running out of every tap continuously on board the Caravan, you'll shut all of the taps back off, and that will be the hot water system full. You will need to prime it in the same way as if you're filling the onboard water storage tank or the hot water tank on board the Caravan. But like I said, to fill the fill tank, you need to have the pump connected to the top connection on the outside, and you'd hit the fill tank option here, and it will turn the water pump on to fill the onboard water storage tank just underneath the seat on the right hand side there. Once that is completely full, you can then start thinking about whether that be the onboard hot water tank or the onboard storage tank. You can then start thinking about warming the water on board the Caravan. So to do this, you have a control panel just up to the left hand side of the door as you walk in. To go into the controls, you press store reset, and then you'll have on or off on the top left hand corner. If the heating and hot water control panel is on, it will start allowing the heating and hot water to warm up once you can turn them on. So when you have the on or off flashing, you can come across to the right, and then you'll come to your room temperature, which is a thermometer. Then you go minus, a plus, or minus to set your room temperature. Come across to the right, you can turn on your hot water, so you've got hot water off or hot water on. Below that, you've got your option to run gas. So you've got gas off or on. So you need to turn the gas on for the heating and hot water system to work off the gas supply on board the Caravan. If we come to the right again, you've got the option of how much power you have coming into the Caravan from the Caravan site you're on. So you'll either have 1 or 2 kilowatts available to run your heating and hot water on. It will depend on what Caravan site you're on to what you set this to. If you're on a site, for instance, where it's got 1 kilowatt of power available, you'll select the 1. If you're on a site where it's got 2 kilowatts of power available, you'll set the 2 kilowatts on here. Once you've done that, you have got some advanced options down the bottom here. For these, we do advise you read the manuals that come with the Caravan. So that is your heating and hot water control panel. To turn off, like I said, to turn off the heating and hot water, if you don't want it on at all, then you go back to this on-off option, hit the off button, and it will say off here to let you know it is isolated and turned off. Next thing we go to is the fridge system on board the Caravan. Very simple to use. You've got a power button on the front of the fridge, so you're going to press the power button on. Now you see it's loading at the moment. First option to come up with is with gas. So if you've got a gas connected to the Caravan and you want it to ignite on gas, you can put the gas option on. When it fails to ignite on gas, because there's no gas bottle on, it's going to start flashing the blue light here at the bottom, and it will also bring up a 9 and a spanner symbol on the right hand side of the control panel to let you know it has failed. To control the temperature of the fridge, you have your control button on the right hand side here. The higher you go, the colder the fridge will be. Press the power button again and it will take you to your 240 volt mode. This will allow the fridge to chill on mains power. So that is from the mains power on site, on the Caravan site to the Caravan. You then have the option to run auto mode. Auto will essentially connect to the first power supply it sees. And then you've got 12 volt mode. 12 volt mode is to allow the fridge to run as a cool box while you are travelling down the road. If you haven't got 12 volt available from the car you're towing with, as you can see at the moment we're not connected to a car, it's going to flash the blue light here, a bit like when it fails on gas, and it's going to bring up a 10 and a spanner symbol on this right hand side to let you know there is no 12 volt supply to it. You will not be able to control the fridge temperature on 12 volt mode. You can on 240 or gas on the button on the right hand side here. If you're done with the fridge, you can turn the fridge off by pressing and holding the power button, and it will turn back off. Microwave, hob, grill and oven, all work very much like your household appliances. If you've got no 240 supply, the coming into the Caravan, then the microwave will not work, the same as the 240 electric ring on the hob itself. Coming into the back of the Caravan now, the toilet system, very simple to use, electric flush, so you press the button on top to flush your toilet. Red indicator light lets you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the Caravan, it needs to be in this straight on position. And then below the toilet you have your grey waste handle. It will need to be in the pushed across to the left hand side position, or right hand side position if you're looking at the front of it, to allow the waste into the cassette under the van. Again, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette, it will need to be back in the central position to allow you to remove it. If not, you could potentially damage the toilet cassette. Also, we do advise you shut it off when you finish using the loo, just so no smells come back up inside the van. One last thing to show you on this van, and that is the main control panel, which is just down in the front here, up on the right hand side. So in this cupboard here, you'll find your 240 trip switches for the Caravan. Little tip here for you, if you're not sure if you've got mains power coming in, hit the test switch. If this switch doesn't drop down, it means there is no 240 mains coming in from the Caravan site you are on. As you'll see, it's got MCB1, MCB2 and MCB3, and on the little tag inside the cupboard it will indicate to what each of these is for. At the bottom you've got your 12 volt power supply, which again will indicate, and again you'll find a list of what each of these is for in the left hand side. And essentially these are the 12 volt supplies on board the Caravan. You'll also find the radio in here, which I'm just going to turn on so you can see it works. Then in the top here, you've got your reverse polarity, your charger, your space heater main power switch and your water heat switch. If you turn any of these off, you'll have no 12 volt supply going to the battery. You'll have no space heating if this switch is off, and you'll have no water heating if the switch at the bottom is off. Down below we have the system shutdown, so if we hit this switch, it will turn all of the 12 volt and 240 power off inside of the Caravan. So as I said, this is a Swift Conqueror 565. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect the van. Thank you again. Bye bye.